Okay. Back at it again. We will now be moving to the 4th episode of the second Grade Ace Attorney game. Oh man, the last episode was pretty long though. And also had its own confusions in the mix as well. And it's like, oh yeah, we managed to get our defendant a not guilty verdict, but we still choose to keep probing certain mysteries in the case just to get the full truth out there, even though we didn't have to. But it was, yeah, I guess the theme is always about exposing the corruptions within the system. And we got to learn some pretty cool plot twists in the last episode as well. And, well, right at the end actually. We got a bit of voice acting from the official voice actors as well in the game. Because, well, yeah, because you do not often get voice acting segments within an Ace Attorney game. You only like little snippets from every now and then, unless you're talking about the old trilogy, the OG trilogy from Ace Attorney, and of course Apollo Justice. But yeah, can't wait to see what other mysteries are going to be involved within this game, because that's been heavily hinted towards to the early segments of this game and also the last game. So yeah, we shall see. Also, hello Catler.
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder, an executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow. For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
Hey North. How you doing? Yeah, I didn't want to say anything because it was in the middle of a beginning cutscene there. 8 days after that earth-shattering trial, and Cosmo regaining his memory, we were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. 1st of November, 10:24 a.m. Great Waterloo Hotel foyer. Professor Mikotoba is due to arrive at any moment. Yes, I'm so glad we got here in time. Susato-san hasn't been the same since what happened. Not that I'm surprised. The truth about Kazuma-sama's father. Do you suppose my father knew? That he was actually the mass murderer. The professor, you mean? I knew that's what she was thinking about. There's a good chance, I'd say. I mean, they did come here to London together 16 years ago, didn't they? Yes, that's true. Come to think of it, didn't you say that Professor Mikotoba knew about Cosmo going missing in Hong Kong as well? That's right, but for some reason he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it. That probably means he knows then about Cosmo showing up here in London with amnesia, and that he's regained his memory now. There she is! I think that's... Oh no, that's the judge. And, oh yeah, and Professor Mikotoba himself. Oh, Father.
Hello, Susato. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. We're delighted you've arrived safe and sound.
Hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Very kind of you to take the trouble to meet us here.
Oh, no, not at all. It's my pleasure.
We've heard all about your extraordinary exploits here in London, you know. The news has crossed the seas.
It has?
I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive with the steamships from Britain.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Who is this man? Why do I feel as though I've seen him before?
I take it from your expression that you can't quite place me.
In that case, how about a little reminder, Seishiro? A firm tap should do it.
Yes.
A firm tap? What?
Here we go then. I hereby pronounce the defendant Ryunosuke Naruhodo guilty!
Oh! You're... Yep, the judge from the very first case of this game and the last game.
The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Your Excellency! Hello, Judge Jigoku. How are you? It's been a long time.
Ha 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 ha. Good, you remember now. That really did the trick. Guilty! Ha 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 ha.
Oh yeah, I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? And there was no laughing at the time.
So, London again after all this time. Hard to believe it's been 10 years. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back.
Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would ever be invited to an international symposium like this. Though really, I doubt anyone did, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Seishiro?
What are you talking about, Yujin? Ha 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 ha.
Of course, Judge Jigoku. He must complete the set. He's the other man who, 16 years ago, came to London with Cosmo's father and Professor Mikotoba. He's the third visiting scholar.
Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you?
Ah, I knew you were jealous. Ha 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 ha.
Sorry, ministerial status?
Yes, didn't you know? Seishiro here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. It was his personal insistence that allowed you to take Cosmo's place here on the study tour.
Guilty as charged.
Oh, well, thank you very much. He's really every bit as important as he looks.
Ah, yes, now, Naruhodo. I received a telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday.
Oh, you did?
It appears that some things came to light in a trial you were involved with 8 days ago. About what happened 10 years ago. That tragedy.
Hey, Tia. Glad you could make it. Yes, could you tell us any more about it? Just in time for the beginning of this episode. New case. So, how was the voyage here?
Well, 50 days at sea is a long time by anyone's standards.
But it wasn't as bad as when we first came 16 years ago.
No, that's true. And I truly wondered if we wouldn't be drifting in the vast ocean for the rest of our lives. This time we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax and enjoy the experience.
Ah, so you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris.
We did, yes, though only for one night. And yesterday evening we left the port of Dunkirk for Dover.
Just in time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow.
It's wonderful that you were invited to attend such an important international event. I'm very proud of you, Father.
It's thanks to Seishiro here. 16 years ago, he managed to ingratiate himself with Britain's Attorney General. I'm sure that's why he was invited. And I suppose you could say I'm something of an appendage by default.
Speak for yourself, Eugen. You were the close friends with the professor of forensic science at a major hospital.
Yes, well, I'd rather not dredge all that up, really.
No. There's been a lot of water under the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back.
Cosmo's father, I suppose. The professor. The killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British aristocracy, was actually Cosmo's father, wasn't he?
That's correct. Genshin Atsuki.
You could have picked a better name. Because if you just mention Genshin, the Zoomers are going to be like, Genshin Impact? Oh my god! Genshin. Okay, now it's... Now it feels weird for me to say it like, like addressing somebody in the form of a name without thinking of the actual gacha game Genshin Impact. Oh my god. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard for me to compose myself there. You knew, I presume, Father.
Yes, he was a close friend at the time.
Genshin came to Britain as a police detective. He was studying investigative techniques at Scotland Yard. I've never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts.
It was a closed trial, so the public never knew the truth, and he was executed with little ado. To this day, very few people know what really happened, even in our homeland.
But what about Kazuma? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his father?
No, of course not. He was told his father passed from sickness.
However, I suspect he may have his doubts.
Oh? Why?
As you know, I tried to guide Kazuma growing up, as if he were my own son. Then one day, he came to my office at the university and said, "I've decided. I want to travel to Great Britain and study there."
Do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death?
I don't know. But when I looked into his eyes, I didn't know that there was no way I'd be able to stop him.
Something else came to light in that trial the other day, actually.
Oh? What?
Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and been missing for almost a year. Kazuma has since turned up here in London, working as the apprentice of Lord Von Zeeks.
What?
What? That's news to us!
So, Lord Strongheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then. As you know, we both thought Kazuma had died on the steamship during our voyage to Great Britain in January. But he didn't die. He's alive. As you knew, didn't you, Father?
In actual fact, no. What I did know is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong, he mysteriously vanished.
We sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to try to ascertain what had happened, but to no avail.
But he's still alive, and here in London, you say. I never dared to dream it.
Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now.
Well, it seems that he was suffering from amnesia.
What? Amnesia?
When we first came across him here, when we first came across him again here in London, he didn't know who either of us were.
I see.
He only regained his memory 8 days ago.
This is unbelievable.
Yes, it's quite miraculous. I wonder why Lord Strongheart didn't let us know. I must speak with him urgently.
I wonder how Cosmo's been these past few days. Would it be wrong of us to go and visit him?
That began 16 years ago now. It's a distant memory, really. It was Eugen here, Genshin Asogi, and myself. We were the original three. The first judicial scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study.
Ocean voyages were not what they are today, I can tell you.
16 years ago, things were tough for their generation.
Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at Yume University at the time, you know, young lady.
Yes, grandmother told me.
He went to do research at a great London hospital to study autopsy, practically unheard of in Japan.
Yes, it was an eerie place, sandwiched between the back of a prison and a burial ground.
Not more talk of graves.
Very often, there's no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work.
So you see, autopsy labs have something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons.
Not my cup of tea at all.
Do you remember that Scottish prison governor? Caden, his name was. He was a good man.
Yes, but then of course, in our 6th year here, everything changed with that dreadful case, when Genshin was arrested for a series of the most gruesome murders.
I simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years.
I was a witness at the secret hearing and tried to speak in his defense, but
you went a little too far, and ended up facing charges yourself, didn't you?
well, suffice to say that after that trial we were sent back to Japan.
There was nothing more we could do to save Genshin. It was a lost cause, sadly. Well, if you'll excuse us now.
Yes, I'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have held you up here for so long. I'll call for the porter then. Just wait here. Susasan's going off at a run.
I'd like to stay and talk more, but I do have various preparations to make for tomorrow.
Yes, of course. It must be a big responsibility representing our entire country. I wish you the best of luck.
Naruhodo. I hope you'll keep an eye on Susaka for me. Keep looking after her as you obviously have been.
Oh no, I mean, if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me.
Well, I do appreciate you being there for her. After all, I've been a miserable father to her. I've thoroughly let her down.
Sorry? What do you mean?
Well, it was 16 years ago that I started on my very long study tour here in Britain, as you know. The very year Susato was born.
Yes, I heard.
The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but... well... sadly, it was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life, too.
Oh yes, Susato-san hinted at something like that. It was a rather turbulent time at home.
Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. The point is, I became rather less dependable than befits a grown man, and it was then that Seishiro offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain.
I was too worried about you to leave you behind, so perhaps I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me into London.
So, that's what happened in a nutshell. And that's also the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world does not really afford young women such things, I must say.
I completely understand, Professor.
Ah, one other thing, Naruhodo. If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask you.
Oh, really? Of course. What can I do for you?
Well, the thing is
I'm so sorry it took so long.
Mr. Sato!
Now then, allow us to take your bags.
Wait a minute, isn't that the owner of the no, isn't that the leader of the carriage guild? What's he doing here? Unless this is like his twin brother or something.
Allow me to take your bags.
one moment, if you please, Porter.
Oh, of course, sir.
The machine around your neck. It's a camera, I believe.
Quite right, sir. Just 5 shillings for a lovely photograph to commemorate a wonderful stay at the hotel, sir.
Well, I think given the occasion, we quite justify the expense.
Ah, yes, of course.
Alright. Ooh, nice. Naruhodo looking nervous in the picture.
I'd like to thank you for coming with me, Mr. Naruhodo. It's really made Father very happy, I think.
Oh, well, I'm pleased then. But we were interrupted before. Professor Mikotomo was about to ask me something.
Shall we return to Baker Street then? I expect Iris will have some delicious tea waiting for us.
Yes, let's go. I'm getting more and more anxious about Cosmo though. Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask after him. Well, we're not gonna listen to the favor? And they're gone already. Okay, well. Back to Baker Street.
First of November. Sholmes' Suite.
I don't know what that is. What was that?
A man screaming? In a most unflattering way.
Do you think... Could it have been Mr. Sholmes?
Oh my, I do hope not.
I don't do it anymore. Mon ami. Stop this grateful display, huh? Who are these people? Look at their hair, it's bright red.
I think they must be clients of Mr. Sholmes.
Hola, you two. You're coming with me now, down to the clink. Oh, Lord Wizard, it's so dark and damp, but I don't like it. Bob, the darkness, it is my friend. I am not scared. But you're always scared of the dark. Such a naughty idiot. I will sit quietly in the dark and plan our next starting heist. I don't like this. I don't like it. Well, tough. We'll finish down this Well, tough. We'll finish this down the yard. Now get moving.
Bye then, Ginny. Have fun.
Oh yeah, thanks, Addis. Oh, thanks. You're a great detective.
Gina makes a fine detective herself, doesn't she? Oh, Susie and Runo.
Hello, Iris. We're home.
Well, did you find your daddy? Yes, we arrived at the hotel just before he and his friend. Oh, well that's great news. I hope I'll get to see my daddy again soon.
Man, is nobody gonna tell her that her dad's dead? And still, nobody has told Iris that her dad was murdered in Japan.
Ah, yes, of course.
Dr. John H. Wilson.
So, Iris, all that remains now is that greatest problem greatest of problems known to man.
What? He dyed his hair red?
But before we concern ourselves with that, I believe some tea is in order, don't you, my dear fellows? something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Do I have a crumb or such like on my face?
Not so much on your face as on your head, I'd say.
Come along then, everyone. I brewed a lovely special blend. Time for tea.
Whatever's going on here today?
In that case, let us sit and drink now, for I am in fact expecting a guest later today.
Mr. Sholmes, who were the two gentlemen that were here before?
Oh, just a pair of petty criminals, nothing of significance. Of course, they have to make a living somehow. And when the mood takes me, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to all manner of infractions.
When the mood takes you?
All matter of infractions?
But when such fellows set their sights on Mr. Herlock Sholmes, well, that's when their luck runs out.
Oh my, you were the target of a crime, Mr. Sholmes?
But I quickly devised a plan to entrap them and deliver them to our young detective ally.
You should have asked Gregory to come too. We could have had an arresting tea party.
I did send word, but no answer was forthcoming. The man is consummately in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a word for it, I'm quite sure. Aha, I have it. A bungler. That's the word.
It's a good job he's not here to hear you say that. So those redheads have been up to no good?
I wonder what the men did.
What was that about the greatest of problems known to man that you mentioned before?
Is it another fiendishly intricate case, Mr. Sholmes?
How should I best explain it? Are you aware of the theory of evolution by natural selection, perchance?
Well, I think I've heard talk of it somewhere. Possibly.
It's a revolutionary scientific theory that was newly proposed 40 years ago now. According to its author, Mr. Darwin, we humans were once apes who lived in the treetops.
Wait, what? We were apes?
Indeed, and from the very moment those apes descended from the canopy to live as humans, it has been our lot to be at the mercy of the greatest problem known to man.
Our lot? What is this great problem, Mr. Sholmes?
Why, is it not obvious, my dear madam? The problem of rent.
But did you not receive a rather large sum of money from Madame D'Espelles only the other day?
Pshaw, a large sum? One potted her for Iris and a new motor car for me later, and all of it has quite disappeared, I assure you.
Honestly, Eddie, you know you squandered it.
Yes, well, anyway, 2 days ago, I discovered the answer to man's greatest problem, for the coming month at least.
And what was the answer?
Why, there is a substantial clue before your very eyes.
Don't tell me. Let me see.
Humans are sorry creatures, unable to see what is in front of their noses. Let me give you some assistance. Don't look, but observe me very closely. There is one particular feature about my person that has changed. You should notice it in the end, I think.
In the end? It's been stabbing me in both eyes right from the very beginning of our conversation.
I think we might need another clue before we uncover the full answer, Mr. Naruhodo.
Thanks for the hint. I'll be tearing my hair out if this charade goes on much longer. Mr. Sholmes, isn't it about time you told us the truth? Just over a week ago, you said to us...
I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that.
that case aboard the SS Buria in January. Kazuma wasn't killed, and you knew he wasn't dead at the time. So what was really going on?
The fellow was unconscious for a very long time. If he hadn't regained consciousness when he did, his life would have been in mortal peril. Of course, a side effect of the prolonged comatose state that was amnesia, as you now know. It was a simple enough task to silence the crew.
But how?
After they carried him out of the cabin, I assembled them in the lobby area. Then I made them swear to leave him unconscious and have him unlaid from the ship in Hong Kong as a murdered corpse. Oh, how horrible. It was necessary to find some material with which to persuade the crewmen to keep their word, of course.
But why? Why do it in the first place?
I will be at liberty to elaborate in due course. But for the time being, I would like to reassure you. I didn't foresee subsequent events.
What events?
His disappearance in Hong Kong. Oh. I believe I may have made a gross error of judgment.
Mr. Sholmes. As we look at this newspaper, because I don't think it was there before.
This looks like last week's edition.
What's the article circled in red there?
It's an advertisement column. It says, "To the Red-Headed League."
The Red-Headed League? What's that?
I don't know. I never heard of it before, but...
Is something on my face?
Clearly this has something to do with that. Lively hair. Oh, and there's our clue. Can we look at the paper? To the Red-Headed League, on account of the bequest of the late Ezekiel Hopkins of Lebanon, PA, USA, there is now another vacancy open which entitles a member of the League to a salary of £4 a week for purely nominal services. All red-headed men who are sound in body and mind above the age of 21 years are eligible. Apply in person on the morning of the 31st at the large park on Lime Street. Huh. Oh, I see. That's why he made his hair red. Oh my gosh, Sholmes. It looks as though someone circled an advertisement in this paper, Mr. Sholmes.
To the Red-Headed League? Does that strike you in some way?
I was thinking that just maybe it might be related to your bright red hair.
So, at last you learned to apply my methods, Mr. Naruhodo.
Sorry?
In the first instance, and quite indispensable, observation.
Believe me, I could have seen that hair with my eyes shut.
So then, allow me to regale you with the details of my latest exploits.
Regale or boast? So what is the Red-Headed League, which seems to be the subject of the advertisement you've circled?
You noticed in the paper then? That, my dear fellow, was going to be the source of this month's red payment.
It was? How?
According to the advertisement, the Red-Headed League is a distinguished institution of fellows of unspecified governance. In fact, the only condition for becoming a member is having red hair.
That doesn't entirely surprise me.
And listen to what the lucky redheads receive once they join. An unconditional salary of £4 a week.
Oh my, £4 a week?
But why? What are they paying people for?
That I don't know. No details are given in the advertisement.
But surely every red-headed person in the country would be flocking to join in that case.
You're right, Susie. There's no time to lose. I'll put in my application at once.
So will I, just on the off chance.
That might be stretching a point, I think.
The trouble is, they have a fixed number of members, you see.
Oh, I see. So once a certain number of people have joined, no one else can.
But as luck would have it, one member recently passed away.
It wasn't particularly lucky for the redhead in question, I feel, Mr. Sholmes.
So you decided to try joining his place?
Correct. I mean, look at me. Have you ever seen such a red-headed fellow?
No.
So why? Why did it have to go so wrong?
What? What on earth happened?
A blunder, Mr. Naruhodo, though it pays me to admit it.
What did you actually do to your hair, Mr. Sholmes?
I'm glad you asked, Miss Susato. What you see atop of my head is neither dyed nor a hairpiece. I changed the color of my hair overnight. By the wonders of chemistry.
Chemistry?
I was conducting some research into a method of rejuvenating spent tea leaves. And in the course of my work, I stumbled upon a potion that, when taken, turns one's hair a flame-like red. Would you like to try it? It will make every hair on your body perfectly crimson.
I think I'll pass.
But Mr. Sholmes, is it quite safe to drink? Surely it's bad for you, isn't it?
Amateurs are always hampered by such fears.
Oh, I should never have doubted you, Mr. Sholmes. You mean to say...
But of course. To earn £4 a week, one must be prepared to turn a blind eye to a little danger.
That degree of red signals more than just a little danger, surely.
So anyway, Hurley left full of confidence yesterday with his new red hair. For the park on Lime Street, where the Red-Headed League were interviewing prospective new members.
So, what went wrong?
The whole park was choked with red-headed folk, like a coaster's orange barrow. I queued for 8 hours solid before at last I reached the front, but when the panel of interviewers saw me, they immediately said, "Ah, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, are you in disguise to conduct an investigation?"
That's hilarious. They recognized him immediately. Yeah, because he's a famous worldwide figure. Yeah, that's funny.
So naturally, I had no choice but to reply. "Shh! Don't give me away!" After which, I could do a little else but turn and leave. Then this morning, when I looked in the mirror, irritation stirred within me. So I turned that pair into the police. Oh dear, what a disaster. For Hurley and those two redheads.
Mr. Sholmes, you mentioned before that you were expecting a guest today.
Indeed, Miss Susato, that is correct.
Not another of those red-headed gentlemen that were here before.
Not at all. They were petty villains. The guest I am expecting is a client.
Oh?
A young gentlewoman who wishes to appoint the services of this great detective, no less.
Oh, how wonderful, Mr. Sholmes.
You must stay and observe the fashion in which a great detective receives his customers.
Must we?
I have you in my clutches now, Rent.
Oh wait, hold on, let me say that again.
I have you in my clutches now, Rent. Just as I have you in my clutches, redheads.
That hearty laugh is masking a rather sinister thoughts, I feel.
You know, the lady isn't due for another hour yet. Don't feel as though you must wait around if you have other things to do.
Okay, well, I guess so. We'll go to the Lord Chief Justice's office.
1st of November, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office.
Here's the final draft of the opening address for tomorrow's proceedings. I've supplemented the original with the figures you asked from the yard. For them from the yard.
I see. Excellent work. Thank you.
You're welcome, my lord.
What's Lord Von Zieks doing here?
My, there seems to be an awful lot of tension in the air, wouldn't you say?
This place is stifling enough as it is. We really don't need any more tension.
My apologies. I didn't notice you come in. Your small stature and dark dress make you all but invisible to me.
Oh, no. It's entirely for my fault for wearing black, I'm sure.
From now on, you must dress in white from head to toe whenever you come here.
Now then, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, my lord. I'm right here. Kill me now.
There's something wrong. Perhaps it's a little too hot in here for you.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I've never experienced a room at such a perfect temperature.
If you're sure, the beads of sweat carving their way down your face seem to suggest otherwise.
Because of the daggers you're staring at me with, mainly.
As you're no doubt aware, my International Forensic Science Symposium begins tomorrow. In fact, your father arrived in London earlier today, I hear, madam.
Oh, yes, that's right, my lord. He's extremely honored to have been invited.
I'll leave the remaining preparations for the meeting room in your capable hands then, Lord Von Zieks.
I will attend at once.
He gave you a very cold stare as he left, didn't he?
I know, but I haven't done anything. Have I?
These past few days, my feet have barely touched the ground, I must say. My dedicated right hand of many years was recently put out of action in spectacular fashion.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is your left hand still of service?
Mr. Naruhodo, he's talking about Dr. Sith.
Ah, of course. I'm terribly sorry about that. I was just,
Fear not, you've done nothing wrong. Dr. Sith's own wrongdoing precipitated the situation. You needn't concern yourself with it any further.
that would be a lot easier to do if it weren't for the piercing stare you're giving me.
Lord Von Zieks is doing an admirable job of holding the fort, though disturbingly, his apprentice has been missing since yesterday.
Oh.
Missing? What's become of Cosmo-sama now?
He's missing. Where is he?
Not long ago, visitor numbers to the Great Exhibition exceeded 30 million.
30 million? Are there even that many people in the world?
As a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, the population of the imperial capital of Tokyo is 2 million.
I will be opening the International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibition's main auditorium. This event has been 2 years in the making. 2 years of preparation and negotiations with other countries.
It sounds like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations.
The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensic investigation techniques, and cooperation between policing organizations around the globe will be essential, which is why this landmark first symposium had to be hosted here at the heart of our great British Empire, in order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigative organization in the New World.
He's the same as ever, I see. That passion of his is quite something.
You're every bit as passionate in your own way. I'm sure, Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about a future that embraces forensic science. It was my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the Yard from the ground up. so I disgraced the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions. I first established the forensic investigation team a year ago, experimentally to start with. With Dr. Sith at the helm, it was steadily accruing an impressive record of achievement. I was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to a full-blown forensic investigation department.
And can you not do that now?
Obviously, nobody wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep the story out of the papers. 6 million Londoners will be cursing forensic science now. This incident will set back our country's advancement in the field by a good 10 years, I'd say.
Unintended repercussions of our trial.
We simply couldn't have overlooked what had happened there.
Of course not. We should all be grateful to you both. Anyway, I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but it won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way.
About Lord Von Zieg's apprentice.
Ah, yes. That came as a surprise to me, I must say. That you and he are old friends.
How did he become an apprentice to Lord Von Zieg's in the first place?
It came about 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. They found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel.
Oh my. So he stowed away to get here.
He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia too. Other than the fact he was clearly of Eastern descent, there were no clues as to who he was. So I decided to assign him to Lord Von Zieg's. That way I could keep an eye on him.
But then, why the mask?
I didn't want to burden Lord Von Zieg's with tiresome explanations about why he had an Eastern apprentice.
Because it would be so much easier to explain why he was wearing a mask?
He's proving to be a great help to Lord Von Zieg's. I have high hopes for his future.
By the way, do you know where he's gone?
No idea, but I believe he's left London for the time being.
Oh.
I take it you also didn't know that the man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals, I mean.
Genshin Asogi. Oops. I did that on accident. What we learned from the trial 8 decades ago was a huge shock. Finding out his father was, not my father, his father.
Ah yes, Genshin Asogi. The professor case 10 years ago caused a great stir here in Britain.
There were such awful murders, and unprecedented, using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon.
Oh, the Hound of Baskerville's case. That's probably the case that Schultz was trying to keep under wraps.
And no one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government. So the true identity of the killer couldn't be made public then, and can't be made public now. Nobody in your country knows it was him, and neither do the citizens of London.
The main motivation was to avoid aggravating relations between our two nations at the time, I understand.
Correct. However, it had to be noted that there were some supporters of the professor's apparent cause.
What? Supporters of a mass murderer?
The majority of the man's victims were a blight on the aristocracy of the day. Somewhat ironically, their deaths actually benefited society as a whole. Or so a fair few thinkers in London believed anyway.
Right, I see. But it was still murder, wasn't it?
It seems very similar, doesn't it, to the idea of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Nothing to look at here. Oops. I did not mean to do that. Nothing here. I guess there's nothing more to say here. Could I show you this, Lord Strongheart?
I'm the Lord Chief Justice. I'm not here to offer advice about evidence.
Oh.
Especially when the evidence in question is so dumb.
So that's the real reason. Okay, there's something else to do here. Alright. We go back to Shoulder Suite then to see if the client has come by.
Here is my guest now, my latest client with money to spend.
Oh, I do hope it's an exciting case, Harry.
Remember, Iris, we are at present gripped by the greatest problem known to man. I must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating. Save locating a runaway, of course.
Don't spare anyone's feelings, will you?
Oh dear, I'm afraid that Harry can lack a little tact, especially just before the rent is due.
Oh.
Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, please, oh please. Please find my husband, he's run away.
Oh, well, what do you know? It's a runaway case.
To upset me?
I beg your pardon?
Never mind, a personal matter. My apologies.
Just when he said, oh, please, so long as it's not a runaway case, it shall be all the more stimulating. And then, oh, please, you gotta help find my husband. I was like, ah, damn it. Damn it.
What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Naruhodo?
I didn't say a word.
Come, my dear madam, be seated. Iris, some tea, if you please.
That woman's one of the jurors of the last case. Yeah. I think she was the second, juror number 2.
Of course.
Yeah, she was one of the jurors. What's the matter, Mrs. Sato?
Oh, it's just that gentlewoman. I feel sure I've seen her somewhere before. Very recently.
Yes, now you come to mention it.
As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil. I implore you to take the case, sir. Money is no object. Simply name your figure.
Money and wealth are of little consequence to me, madam.
Says the guy who's desperately trying to rack up money for rent.
Being offered a case to solve is reward enough.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you are the picture of benevolence.
I will, of course, make a mental note of your offer. However, for contingent reasons, I trust you will remember your words also.
If I might inquire, sir. This gentleman and lady would be...
Oh, me?
When I'm about to tell you, I should like to communicate in the strictest confidence, you understand?
Ah, these are my friends. I assure you, you may say before this pair anything which you may say to me.
Ah, I see.
I can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all. He's hard of hearing.
Why did I ever get my hopes up? Mrs. Vigil. Forgive me for asking, Mrs. Vigil, but have we met somewhere before? Like, recently, perhaps?
Oh my!
Psst! My dear fellow, what is your intention? Clearly you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of the English. If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must also do so in a more gentlemanly fashion.
Is it possible that you're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week?
Ah! I knew I recognized her. Yeah, the second juror.
To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine.
I didn't quite recognize her because she's acting so differently now.
It must be very difficult for you as a lawyer, being hard of hearing, I mean.
Pardon?
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear. It was frippery, really, nothing more.
Now look what you started, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you very much.
I believe it would be prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner.
Yes.
Tell us about your husband, madam.
Mr. Vigil, my Dally, is 40 years of age. I have a photograph here.
An entirely unremarkable gentleman, by appearance at least. How long have you been married?
It will be 15 years this year. We have a cordial relationship, and my husband's income is more than adequate, so we live quite comfortably.
As it would appear, I need only look at you to know these things.
Oh gosh.
Your dress is the latest style, your hair clearly regularly groomed, and your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared, correct?
That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty, and he rather dotes on me.
Which would point to the possibility that he has become embroiled in some incident or other.
Oh, that is exactly what I fear must have happened, Mr. Sholmes. I'm quite beside myself. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, you see. What if he's incurred in some miscreant's ill will?
What exactly is your husband's line of work?
He's a warder at the prison.
A guard? That is somewhat unusual.
So, your husband is a prison warder?
That's right, yes. Well, in actual fact, he's the chief warder.
Yeah, because I was about to say, how did a guard manage to earn that much money to, like, live more than adequately? I'm like, oh, he's the chief. Okay, that makes more sense.
Indeed, I see. Well, chief prison warder certainly qualifies as something of a specialist occupation.
Yes, he does indeed. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments and see that they're carried out.
Dreadful punishments? Does she mean capital punishments?
And at such times he must occasionally spend a night or two in the prison dormitory. But for that extra responsibility, he is remunerated more handsomely than the other warders. Of course, we make no mention of my husband's work with the neighbors.
Yes, I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, at what prison is your husband engaged?
Barclay Prison, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, the same prison where the supposed execution of the professor was done. Oh shit.
Really? Barclay? Oh, a fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there's a large cemetery just behind it.
Yes, that's correct. Lowgate Cemetery.
No! Lowgate Cemetery? The very place we were discussing in court. That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable, my dear fellow, and yet undeniable.
Sorry, Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid you've lost me.
Ah, pay no heed, madam, pay no heed. A private matter.
This can't really be a coincidence, can it?
So, to the matter of your husband's disappearance. When did you realize he was missing?
Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday.
I'm sorry. Yesterday?
That really is recent. Laughably so.
The truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away for his work. It's not at all out of the ordinary for him to return home at night, but this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day, that has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Dally, whatever could have happened?
My dear Mrs. Vigil, please, calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police?
Why, naturally, but sadly, they refuse to listen to my pleas as my husband has only been missing for one day. I was asked to wait patiently at home.
In truth, Mrs. Vigil, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. I see no reason why we should not engage my detective powers to track your husband down anyway.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
He's just doing it to get the money for the rent.
And furthermore, let me assure you, a chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Londoner's face. That's really all there is to it.
You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay you any sum you care to mention.
You seek only to put this sweet's rent in your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it.
I thank you for everything you have shared with us, Mrs. Vigil. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation.
Oh, please report to me as soon as... please, report to me soon with good news, sir.
Fear not, madam. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heartening report, I'm quite sure.
So soon? Oh, how splendid, Mr. Sholmes.
Good news should be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession. Thank you. Now, allow me to show you to the door.
I can't thank you enough, Mr. Sholmes. You've been simply marvelous.
You know, I think it every time, Early. But how do you come up with such nonsense? Good news in a day or two? Are you sure? I can't be sure, of course. But then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope to be able to give her good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of the day tomorrow. If by that time I've successfully located Mr. Vigil, we shall be mutually relieved. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo?
Don't look at me with those pleading eyes.
Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case?
Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually.
Excellent. And what did you make of it?
Well, I was surprised to learn where her husband worked. At Barclay Prison, I mean.
Ah, so you knew to that.
Of course, especially with the mention of Lowgate Cemetery.
Lowgate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay Prison, so it was renowned among our students at the university for being haunted by the ghosts of condemned convicts.
Barclay Prison is where the notorious man was incarcerated.
The professor.
And now a warder from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem.
It's all very peculiar.
Indeed, but nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain, Mr. Naruhodo.
Sorry?
Run along to the prison and see what you can glean. Would you? It's the prison governor you want. No doubt the man is equally worried.
But aren't you going to go yourself?
Surely you needn't ask. I can't possibly be seen with his hair.
That's the reason why he's not going. That's the only reason he's not going. That's it. That's literally the only reason. But didn't you go to Lime Street with that hair?
That was quite different. That was quite a different matter. I leave it in your capable hands. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm rather busy.
With what? Of course you are. Wait, what the fuck? When did that mask get here? I actually just noticed this mask. The mask Cosmo wore when he was assigned to Lord Von Zieks as his apprentice. When he cast it aside after the trial the other day, I just sort of picked it up. I ought to give it back to him, I suppose. But he has his memory back now, doesn't he? And I can't help feeling you might turn around and tell me coldly to wear it myself.
But isn't he your best friend?
Sorry I'm late. How's the stream been? So far, so far it's been pretty chill. We're just getting through the beginning of this new episode here, introducing this new case. Alright. Well, yeah, so far we're just entering the first investigative phase. I have no doubt that we'll be entering a trial phase in this episode as well. Maybe in this episode, or maybe, I guess in this stream, or maybe in the next stream. We shall see, depending on how long this segment goes for. Barclay Prison is on the outskirts of London, backing onto a lonely burial ground. Its 4 high outer walls loomed quietly before us in the fog. I guess it'll be the beginning of the next episode / stream, yeah. Hey, I kind of mixed up episode and stream because I don't want to confuse it with how this game calls its cases, because they label each case an episode, so I don't want to accidentally say, oh yeah, next episode, like in the next case in this game, which will be the final one. So yeah, that's why I kind of corrected myself in saying stream. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in the watchtower. The warden has a guillotine clock? What the fuck?
1st of November, Barclay Prison, governor's office.
What voice do I give you? I was thinking, maybe a deep Scottish accent or something. But I mean, he seems to be a burly man, so it might be a deeper voice. This place, no, that's more Russian.
This place is full of hardened criminals. I can't even remember the last time a citizen was doomed here. And you deny.
Oh man, it's kind of hard to do an accent in the deep voice. Fuck it, fuck it, I'll just use this voice.
And you didn't want to talk to an inmate, but to me?
Actually, man, I'm really having a hard time picking this, what kind of voice I want to give this guy. Because of the accent he's giving off, and it's hard to do it in a deeper voice. I'm just gonna go Scottish. Do you know who I am? I'm the governor. Barry Caden, You've seen FMAB, right? What's FMAB? Wait, what's FMAB? I'm not sure. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Oh no, I've never seen that anime. Nah, I never seen it. So I don't really have an idea what you're talking about. It might be, yeah, because I'm guessing a certain character of this similar build to this one has a specific voice that could fit. I don't know. Oh, yes, it's a pleasure. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. Damn, you're missing out? I was going to say there's a character. Okay. Alex Louise Armstrong? Okay, hold on. I'll actually look up. Actually, you know what? Let's just listen to a voice clip and see if I could actually somewhat mimic it. Alex, what was it again? Alex Louise Armstrong. Strong dub voice. Okay. Full Metal Alchemist. Okay. Yeah, hold on, skipping the YouTube ad. Oh. Okay.
My way in here. You say you're an agent of God. Well, then why don't you try passing judgment on me? That's Alex Louis Armstrong, the strong-arm alchemist. Don't pray just yet. You're facing the technique that's been passed down the Armstrong line for generations. That's hardly a blessing.
Okay, I guess I could go with that voice. But it's just the it's just the accent in his dialogue kind of throws me off, but I guess I'll try.
And an Easterner, I see. Does that mean?
Yes. I'm a visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan.
Japan? Did you say Japan?
Yes?
Well, there's no any of your kind here, laddie. Maybe you should try the prison next door, eh?
I didn't notice another prison next door, sir. Anyway, we came to ask you some questions about...
I didn't like to be so direct, but I've no intention of speaking with the likes of you, suspicious-looking Easterners. Now get out of my hair.
So, as soon as he finds out that we're from Japan, he reacts like this. That surely means... I think it's because of the professor case. You think so too? "10 years ago, Genshin Asogi, also known as the Professor, was incarcerated at this prison. And then, after his execution, he apparently re-emerged from his grave in the cemetery behind the prison.
I might have known. You're sniffing around about that case, aren't you? You're agents, eh? Part of the Professor's Grave Web, no doubt?
No, not at all. We're just...
Get going with ya, before I punch your lights out.
We're going. Clearly the ghost of that killer still haunts this place. We're not going to get anywhere here. Unless we can somehow prove this man that there's nothing suspicious about us. Governor Caden? What are you thinking, Mr. Sato? I feel sure that name came up in conversation recently somewhere. I was wondering if whoever mentioned him might have some ideas to help us. Come to think of it, I have the same feeling. Yeah, it's what Mrs. Vigil said. Yeah.
I said get out!
Okay, I can't talk to him. Oops, I did not mean to... I meant to hit the other key. Misinput. Wait, is she in the hotel? Oh wait, no. I just noticed there's a tap. Oh, yeah, he's down there. Oh no, that's something. That's Professor Mikotoba over there.
Oh, hello you two. I was just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I'm unpacked.
But where's Judge Jikoku?
Yes, he's not the relaxing sort. He's taken himself off to pay his respects to all the legal bigwigs.
Having only just arrived in the country today. Goodness, he is full of energy.
Professor, you mentioned something before. About how you known the prisoner governor at Barclay Prison?
Oh, Governor Caden, you mean?
So it is the same man. Oh, he knows him. He knows him too.
Father, we must speak with the governor. But he refused to talk to us. He said we were suspicious Easterners.
Well, I'm sure if I accompanied you, it would be a very different story.
Oh, would you? That would be wonderful, if you have the time now.
Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy at the moment.
Busy drinking coffee on a comfortable settee?
No, I have a rather lot to prepare for tomorrow, you know.
Oh, sorry. I didn't say that out loud, did I? You Mikotobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts. Well, could it be that you Naruhodos are alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts?
Let's not fall out now. I have an idea.
What's he writing on that piece of paper?
There's a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully when he sees my name, he'll change his tune.
Ah, thank you.
Good luck then.
Alright, oops. If you just cast your eyes over this, Governor Caden.
What's this then? You can pull the wool over my eyes, you good-for-nothing Japanese student. Mikitoba. That young jock from the forensics laboratory, that Mikitoba.
Yes, exactly, him.
Oh dear. Perhaps I should have said something sooner. I'm Eugene Mikotoba's daughter, Susato.
Jeez, you're the young man's daughter? And you didn't think to mention that before?
I do apologize.
Hi, well, you best take a seat then. Can I offer you a cup of tea, perhaps? I didn't forget to try one of these wee handcuffed biscuits.
They have handcuffed biscuits? Your father's influence is nothing short of amazing.
I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the outset now.
So then, what can I do for you, Hen?
Well, we're currently investigating the case.
It's one of your warders, you see. He's gone missing.
Missing?
That's right. It should have been reported to you as well, being the prison governor.
I haven't heard of nothing of the sort. There's no missing persons at my prison.
Oh, but how can that be?
It's Mr. Dali Vigil, your chief warder.
Vigil?
That's right. His wife came to us and asked us to investigate his disappearance. Let's skip the part about him only going missing yesterday for now. Clearly that means something to him.
Would you be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir?
Aye, of course.
We understand that Mr. Virgil is the chief warder here at the prison.
Aye, and that he was. Strong sense of responsibility and dedicated to the job, no doubt about it. He was a fine warder.
Sorry, did you say was?
Aye, he doesn't have work here no more. He left the job.
Oh my.
When was this exactly?
There's a question. When it was about. It can have been much less than 10 years ago now.
What? 10 years ago? He stopped working here 10 years ago?
Aye, as I minded. Do you ken? I've not heard of the fella's name in all that time. That's a worry if he's gone missing though.
But Mrs. Vigil made no mention of it.
I think perhaps, Mr. Naruhodo, that his wife simply doesn't know. I think she's unaware that he no longer works here.
Governor Caden, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil give up his job here?
That's important, is it?
Yes, I believe it may be.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
I can't help wondering, given that it was 10 years ago. Which was exactly when the professor was being held at this prison.
10 years ago.
So Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position of chief warder 10 years ago. You're telling us? What happened to make him leave the job?
In the actual fact, he didn't leave the job willingly. He had no choice in the matter.
You mean he was dismissed?
It was after a particular walk.
Sorry? A walk?
Aye, that word for it in here. A walk to the gallows.
An execution?
It's the job of the chief warder to prepare the gallows tree and oversee any executions, you see. Only, Vigil did something unthinkable on that last walk he was mining.
What did he do?
I'm sorry, but I cannot reveal that information. But I can tell you that it's very rare for a chief warder to be relieved of his post.
But why wouldn't Mrs. Virgil know about it? She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here.
I wouldn't ken anything about it, I'm afraid.
Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal?
And what will that be, Ed?
That last execution that Mr. Vigil was responsible overseeing. Was it by any chance the professor's?
My thoughts exactly.
I'm sorry, I really am. But I'm not at liberty to answer that.
I see. My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic medicine. But you seem to have been well acquainted.
The dead room, the prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they need fresh corpses for forensic research. Do you ken?
Yes, I can imagine.
The advancement of medical science isn't always particularly palatable.
Your father worked in the laboratory just on the far side of the graveyard, in the basement of St. Sinners. It's still in use today.
Saint Sinners? That's come up before, I'm sure.
Yes, that's right. We've been there.
Mrs. Dover and I have to use the ride and the cash together and negotiate terms.
For more fresh material, I suppose.
Aye, and we used to sit in here for hours and gab on about dissection and all sorts. Ugh, it takes me back. Over a pot of tea and a plate of coffee biscuits, of course.
How charming.
It was a good fella, your father. Relatable and dead set on his work. But I'm afraid I'll never understand you Japanese.
Because of Genshin Asogi, I suppose.
Well, I cannot tell you anything else.
Thank you so much for your time, Governor.
Oh, one moment before you're away then. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Ah, found it. Here, take this as a wee souvenir of your visit to the prison.
What is it?
That's Vigil's dismissal notice. It's 10 years old now, of course.
Oh my, are you sure?
Aye, it's no trouble at all. It's not the original, mind.
Okay. Thank you very much, Governor Caden.
Will you return? Do me a favor and never come back here. That case is closed.
Well, I think we ought to return to Baker Street for the time being.
Yes, I agree. We need to report back to Mr. Sholmes with what we found out about Mr. Vigil. I'll really tell Mrs. Vigil, I wonder.
First of November, Sholmes' Suite.
We're back.
Hello, you two. Oh, hello, you two. I thought you'd be back before long, so I baked some scones for us all.
Ah, so that's what the delicious smell is.
Greetings, my dear fellows.
Oh, your hair is now blue.
You returned a good deal sooner than I was anticipating.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes? Hello, Mr. Sholmes?
Say nothing. Your thoughts are written all over your faces in any case. It turns out that it may have been advisable to test my hair color restoration tonic before application.
Oh my.
Pray tell me, what of our water friend? Have you gotten some new information?
Oh, yes. Something very surprising, in fact. Though it's not a patch of your hair, to be honest.
It most certainly isn't, but still, we discovered that
Sholmes!
Oh, Sholmes!
Sholmes! Drop everything, Sholmes. This is more important than... Gina?
I don't believe it. What's happened?
Clearly a very great matter indeed. For Miss Lestrade made no mention of my hair whatsoever.
It's the boss.
What do you mean? Inspector Gregson?
The boss is... He's dead!
What?
They just found his body, shot with a pistol.
What?
But... Inspector Gregson?
He was murdered?
No! Not Gregsy!
Come in, my dear girl. Tell us the whole story.
Oh shit, Gregson's dead? Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Gregson he was really shot?
I don't know much about what happened myself yet. They're still there, investigating the scene.
Where did this take place?
A little rented room in a building full of flats on Fresno Street.
The outskirts of town, nowhere near his home. He was perhaps investigating a case then.
The thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing about no case around there. Oh, how strange. The boss was so good to me. I know I ain't up to much yet, but one day I was gonna show him. I'd become a proper detective. Oh, Ginny.
So, who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is?
They got him already.
Already? They've caught the shooter so soon?
A witness reported something was going on, and the boys got straight down there and to take care of him. What awful person did this? I still can't believe it myself. Gina? It was the Reaper.
What? Oh shit. Wait a minute. You don't mean they've arrested Lord Von Zeeks for it?
That's right. That Reaper bloke's gone and shot the boss.
No. Lord Von Zeeks?
Are you quite sure, Miss Lestrade? It's Barrack Von Zeeks the police have arrested.
I saw him with my own eyes. The interview room at the yard. I don't believe it. But there were witnesses, and they're all saying it was him. So you mean
there was actually multiple witnesses. They heard the gunshot, apparently, and when our lot got to the scene, there was only the boss and the Reaper bloke in the room.
Hey, Marciano. You just joined in at the climax of this investigation scene.
But there's no way Lord Von Ziegs would have taken Gregson's life. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it either.
Yeah, Lord Von Ziegs has been accused of murdering Inspector Gregson. Gregson being the fish and chips detective, if you forgot who he was. The guy who was literally munching down a bottomless bag of fish and chips. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, we just got news he's dead. He got shot. And there was multiple witnesses that said that the prosecutor, Lord Von Ziegs, is the killer.
Thank you for informing us, Mr. Strahd. This really is most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry. What are you saying sorry for? You didn't do nothing.
Darn, I wish I would expect he died from eating too much of those fish and chips. Yeah, well, apparently it was the bullet that ended him.
Well, anyway, I'm taking the cab over to the scene right now. Please come along, as soon as you can. You gotta help.
Well, shit. That was a plot twist I was not expecting.
It's a detective's lot to appear wherever some sinister plot is unfolded. Little wonder we all look haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves.
Mr. Sholmes.
What use is there being a great detective if I fail to see something like this coming? How could I let this happen to Gregson? To Gregson? Mr. Naruhodo, I shall leave at once to begin my investigations.
Of course, yes. We will too.
It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you can glean. I'm sure you were intending to do so anyway.
Until
later then.
Inspector Gregson, dead, and Lord Von Ziegs arrested.
Bruno, Susie! I've called you by Hansen. It's waiting outside.
Thanks, Iris. Shall we, Mr. Sato?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay, I'll be right back for the moment. I think I'm being called for dinner. Okay, we're back. Man, this case is now starting to give me Edgewood vibes about what happened in the first Phoenix Wright game. And the prosecutor being framed for murder, probably. 1st of November, local prison, cell 1. There he is. Lord Von Zeke's behind bars.
So it's true. He really was arrested.
He's sitting with his back to the wall, reading something. I don't think he's noticed us.
Lord Von Zeeks.
Fancy meeting you here. The last place on Earth I'd like to be, but the last person on Earth I'd like to see.
I couldn't very well not come. We heard what happened. That you and Inspector Gregson was...
Go home. This has nothing to do with you.
But...
Forgive me, Lord Von Zeeks, but I must disagree. Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We're indebted to him. At the very least, we owe it to him to find out the truth about his death. He must help us with our investigations, please.
There's really nothing I can tell you.
What were you just reading at the back of the cell there? Was it something related to the case?
The yard isn't quite so cavalier with its information as the shared case details with the suspect. This is a letter from an old acquaintance.
Oh, who might that be?
Someone you know, as it happens. Albert Harebrain.
Of course, yes. I keep forgetting they went to the same university.
And I would like to read my correspondence in peace. So let's get this over with, shall we? What is it that you want to know?
Strange. I mean, let's face it, Lord Von Zeeks never minces his words, but they seem to have less bite than usual somehow. Can you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Von Zeeks? What happened?
How much do you already know?
We know that the inspector was shot dead in a small rented room on Fresno Street.
And that you were found there by the police when they arrived on the scene and immediately arrested.
We were told there was nobody else in the room, and that some witnesses heard a gunshot.
Then you're well informed, and there's really nothing I can add. The truth is, I don't know what happened myself.
But the gunshot! Obviously you didn't fire the gun, did you?
I'm not in habit of shooting the people I work alongside. I also heard the noise, however. Before I had the chance to investigate, I was apprehended by the arriving officers.
So he doesn't actually know what happened.
If I might ask, what were you doing in that place to begin with?
I don't need to answer that.
Oh.
After all, you're not representing me.
He's going to need a lawyer, though. Who's going to be representing you in court, Lord Von Zeeks?
Anyone other than you, I should imagine.
I gotta go to bed? Oh, okay. See ya.
Would I be right in assuming that you have no representation as of yet?
The defense lawyers shy away from any trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you know.
But this is different.
In my career, all of the defendants I prosecuted, only 19 have ever been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. questions will be asked now.
Surely not.
I assure you, no defense lawyer will want to touch me with the end of a barge pole.
But you didn't actually have anything to do with those people's deaths, did you?
It's been 10 years now that I've been known as the Reaper of the Bailey. Believe me, nobody wants to know the true identity of this killer more than I. However, it seems things may come to a head before I have the chance to uncover the truth about that.
What does he mean by that? After the trial, Professor Harebrained was supposed to go straight back to Germany, I thought.
It's a letter to inform me of his safe arrival at home. I arranged his passage by sea and rail. It's a relief, I must say. He should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper.
Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad, you mean?
Yes, so it seems. You stooped little Nipponi's friend, for example. You told me he was keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day.
Yes, that's right. He's an author now, happily working in Tokyo.
So, Professor Harebrained is safely back in Germany now?
He is. So, it appears our conversation has run dry.
There was a 2-second silence, that's all.
Well, in any event, if you'll excuse me now, I wouldn't like to detain you.
I was wondering, Lord Von Zieks. If you like, I'd be happy to advocate for you.
You trust me, do you?
Yes. I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people. So I'm quite sure that you would never have taken another's life. It's just, my feelings can't be used as evidence in a court of law, sadly.
It's a very gracious offer. However, I trust no one.
What?
Not the police, not the judiciary, and not even Nipponese.
But, please.
I have no intention of engaging your services.
The chasm between us is just too wide and too deep, it seems.
I'd appreciate it if you don't fist again. Then neither of us will waste any more time.
Perhaps we need to dig a little deeper and find out more about Lord Von Zieks and what happened to Inspector Gregson. First of November, room on Fresno Street. This really is an out of the way part of London. I doubt many people find their way down this back street. So this dust-ridden rented old room is where it happened then.
So this is where poor Inspector Gregson lost his life.
Yes, and the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. I don't see Mr. Sholmes anywhere, though. Perhaps investigations have taken him elsewhere.
Oi! What do you think you're doing over there? Every one of them drawers is got to be taken out, right out, so you can look underneath and all. I want the space above the ceiling checked, and don't forget to look inside the chimney sack too. Blimey! And you lot never gonna go over an house looking for a door when the owners are out of town?
Gina's obviously got some unique investigative techniques she wants everyone to adopt.
Oh, so you turned up at last. Mind you, I ain't been here long myself.
Hello again, Gina.
Sholmes has only just left. You're lucky you missed that.
It went prancing around in here, pointing at stuff and flickering at all this, and then just scarpered.
Oh, he's finished investigating already, you mean?
Yeah, it didn't stop saying nothing to no one, not even me. Gina, would you mind if we investigated too? Listen, Aldo, you're loyal, right? Yes. Why? Well, you're not thinking of trying to help that Reaper bloke, are ya? Oh, poor Gina. She's never going to forget, is she? That child will haunt her forever.
Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Lord Fonseca really is responsible for this crime, he will be duly and fairly judged in court.
I suppose you're right. Yeah. Go on then, Aldo. Get investigating. I want to know the truth about what really happened there. Thank you, Gina. Oops, I hit the wrong button. We've been given the green light.
This looks like some sort of notice board or something.
And it's absolutely covered in scraps of paper.
Ah, Mr. Nadaholdo, look!
This, you mean? It's an autopsy report, isn't it?
And these are case notes here, and details of prison inmates.
Yes, in fact, they're all the sort of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went on in this room?
Some old newspaper cuttings. Ah, and this one here.
Oh yes, the advertisement, you mean? To the Red-Headed League. But why? What is that doing here?
Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason. Oh, it's a photograph stand. I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Craigson's family members. Ah!
Oh, what's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head.
They are, look! Mr. Nadaholdo, quickly!
Oh. Why do I feel like this woman is familiar somehow?
Of course she's familiar. We met her only this morning.
Ah! It's Mrs. Vigil!
This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil in here?
To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped.
I'm sorry to say, I have no idea either.
An empty fireplace makes a room feel even colder than it would otherwise, doesn't it?
It's thick with dust, look. I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time.
In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather.
Or nobody lived here at all, and merely visited when the occasion arose. I would not say which is more likely.
No, that's right. It's one or the other. Excuse me.
Oh, Inspector. Oh, sir.
Poor man, he can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset. Oh, what's this?
It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it, in a way?
Seeing as it's on the floor here, do you think it belonged to Inspector Gregson?
It's a little hard to imagine Lord Fonseca's playing with something like this.
It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It could have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. I think we should record it as evidence, just in case.
Yes, I agree. It's rather delightful after all, in a way.
This is presumably the murder weapon, then.
Oh my. It really is, I suppose.
I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan, I really know very little about them.
There's one way to know for sure, Mr. Nadaholdo. Fire a shot!
No! If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. So it's safer to just ask someone who might know, I think. Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing.
Oh, funnily enough, neither can I.
It's a hairpiece, isn't it?
It is. It is! A bright red hairpiece.
I suppose the fact that it's right next to where the body was found means we have to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs. Does it?
And it's such flame-colored red, too.
Yes, that's a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it?
Exactly. This is a vital clue. I'm sure of it.
The top of one of the candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off.
Yes, there's wax splattered on the walls, on the wall behind. Look.
I suppose if a bullet had hit it,
It does seem unlikely that the bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body.
ugh, now that wax on the wall looks like blood to me. Somebody's very haphazardly nailed those boards over the broken glass, haven't they? We couldn't even really call it a window anymore.
Well, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsume's room, that was totally blocked up with bricks. This one, at least still lets in some light.
You could say nothing more about it. I'm starting to feel even more sorry for Mr. Natsume now. So I suppose this is where the victim.
That's right. The rope laid around the body to show exactly how it was found. Poor Inspector Gregson himself has already been taken away.
And would probably be under Dr. Sid's scalpel by now, if not for what happened last week.
From the shape of the rope, it would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball. Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruhodo? You look like you just seen a ghost.
I know it's just a rope, but, well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all. Especially with that blood stain next to it.
Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can be even worse than reality.
Susato-san is so strong, though. She's taking this far better than I am. Excuse me.
If you're looking down on us from the great beyond, Inspector, don't worry. We'll look after things at the yard.
I've interrupted some deep thoughts there. Excuse me.
Sorry, sir. Can't see a thing, sir. Too many tears, sir.
Right, perhaps I'd better leave you to your work then. Is there anything else to look at, or do we think that might be everything? I think that might be everything. Yeah, I think all that's left is to talk to Gina? I think that's everything, yeah. Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place?
That's what I wanna know. It's what? Half a year since I got out of the clink? That's when I decided to give up mediving and become a detective instead.
Oh yes, Mr. Sholmes twisted the inspector's arm to agree to take you on as an apprentice, didn't he?
Something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I didn't really know much about the boss until then. But it turns out, he's a bit of a legend at the yard. Goodness, really? They say he managed to solve some really tricky case. Just like that.
He did?
Yup. And ever since then, he's started to go out on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what half the cases he's working on out, apparently.
That's not how it's supposed to work, is it? So what was the legendary inspector doing in a dingy little room like this? I know he had a lot of respect for the Reaper and all, and look where that landed him. Respect for the Reaper? In what way? I heard him say as much. I take my hat off to the fella. Were his words. Not how the general public feels, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper. Yeah, the boss said that's exactly why he respected the bloke. I didn't realize Gregson held the Reaper in quite such high regard. He said something else to me and all, and I didn't need to worry about the Reaper, because he only goes after people what are bad. It did kind of set my mind at ease when he said that. Right. What is this place then? Does anyone live here? Apparently it's been rented by some cove called Hugh Bone. Hugh? Boone? Or Bone? It's a sort of here today, gone tomorrow name that, isn't it? Yeah, is what it's called, an unidentified person. We haven't been able to get in touch with him. I see. Well, judging from appearances, I'd say this place has been lived in for a long time, if ever. That? All that's from the yard, piled down to get stuck into the investigation. But there's so little here. No one knew what to do with themselves. I do wonder. Yes, Mr. Sato? Well, would it be that this... got my accent mixed up. Well, could it be that this Hugh Boone is in fact Inspector Gregson himself? What? How could that be? Well, if he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that this was in fact some kind of secret office of his. I never even considered that. Nice work, Suze. We're actually following a line of inquiry like that ourselves. You are? If you look around the room, you'll see there's a few things that hint at it. We should really investigate this place in detail. I see that's where the poor inspector was found. Over there. Yeah, that's right. They said there was a single bullet what did him in. Apparently the bullet went right through him and struck that candle tree on the wall. Oh yes, it's blown one of the candles apart completely. And the gun used there is on the floor. It's a Reaper's in it. No denying that. What? Really? How do you know that? Take it easy. I don't know what to do with myself when you stare at me with them big white eyes. I'm only saying what I heard. Don't know much about guns myself. But there's some bigwig lawman or whatever who said so. Why don't you ask him? A bigwig lawman, is it? Anyway, Fresno Street runs along under that window there. There were some street sellers just outside who heard the gunshot. Oh, but I don't recall seeing anybody outside. Yeah, they've all been taken down the yard for questioning. That's why. We're talking about the yard's legendary inspector there. After all, they'll be getting a grilling. Do you think we might be able to speak with those street sellers ourselves? I doubt it. The lads at the yard will just want to know what you're snooping on for, and you'll be up for grilling and all. So we can't interview the witnesses then. Shame. Gee, what do you make? What is that? Evidence? What does something have? Oh, okay. Yeah. Actually, should we just take a look, see at this? Ah, there are some black marks here. Look. Yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks. Perhaps the bullet struck the candle here, do you think? It's only this one candle that's been cracked in half, it seems. Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan, so I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them. always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like.
It doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Neverholder. You always wonder to see what lies beneath, don't you?
I'm not sure that's how quite I would put it. You must have to use lots of bird lime to keep it in place on your head, so it doesn't get blown off in a gust of wind, I mean.
That might be a little inconvenient. You'll want to take it off again, don't you think?
I think we should be fine with this evidence. I suppose this must have been the murder weapon.
Oh my, it is real, I suppose.
I think so. Since it's over in Japan, I really know very little about them. Perhaps someone more familiar with firearms could shed a light on things here.
The helmet of this charming policeman appears to be a little less for wear.
I'm not convinced about the charming part, but yes, you're right. The head part looks like it's been fairly heavily manhandled. Almost as if somebody has enjoyed twisting it around and around for fun. Shall we try twisting it around too? For fun? Oh, what? Ah! What's that?
It appears to be some sort of key.
But it's tiny though. It couldn't be a key for a door. Not at that size. So what's it for, I wonder? This looks like some sort of key.
Yes, it does. A very tiny and simple key.
What's a little key doing inside a figurine of a policeman in the first place? And what's it for? Daily vigils is most immediately for having violated Clause 132 of Her Majesty's Code of Conduct for Prisons. All rights to redundancy, pay, and other financial benefits are fully revoked. Reason for dismissal: aiding and abetting the escape of this prison convict just prior to his execution. Details of the escape are still being investigated. Full cooperation with inquiries will be expected. Prisoner. Oh, he helped the professor escape. And I'm just saying, oh, and the whole resurrection shtick that was going on at the graveyard was actually probably like a secret escape route, and that where the professor went out of. So he didn't actually die; he actually broke out. Indications are that the jailbreak plot was conceived prior to the convict's incarceration. It's believed the convict engaged in some form of negotiation with the prison staff in order to secure assistance. Full disclosure of information regarding these negotiations would be demanded. Okay. Nothing. Okay. I don't think there's a key for anything. Oh, well, I don't think there's any lockbox or anything. No, nothing. No, nothing. Let's try examining something? I don't think the key... Oh yeah, well, don't really know what the key belongs to here. No idea. Maybe we go back to Sholmes? If he's back at the suite? Nope. I already talked to him, okay.
1st of November. British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's office. You mean good time.
I took an express train back to London. I don't know who that is. I can hear Lord Strongheart. Can you?
Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone.
Oh,
Is everything in place?
I had a private compartment on the train so I could check all the paperwork.
It's
Kazuma-sama.
Ah, your timing is impeccable.
It is?
No doubt you have heard the sickening news about the Reaper's latest devilry.
Yes.
I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though, Lord Strongheart. That Lord Von Zeeks could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson.
I believe only in the facts, and the facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Von Zeeks for his crime. We must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective.
Oh no, surely not.
It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable processes.
So does that mean the trial is tomorrow?
Precisely. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions.
Kazuma.
Ah, but of course, you're already acquainted, aren't you? Mr. Asogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings, leading the prosecution.
Wait. What? Kazuma?
As I'm sure you're aware, he's a very capable practitioner of law.
Yeah, but he's on the prosecution side.
Kazuma-sama, a prosecutor.
I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, no, people all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds.
There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey. And now, the Reaper himself must stand in the dark.
Quite so. The public want answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths.
But Lord Von Zeeks firmly denies any involvement in such matters.
And there have been thorough investigations that proven him to be innocent.
That's certainly true. Or it has been at least, until now. No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history.
So, Kazuma will be prosecuting tomorrow?
That's right.
But he's a defense lawyer, Lord Strongheart.
Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. And imagine what it will mean for the prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I've no doubt at all that Kazuma will be razor sharp as a prosecutor.
But why Kazuma-sama? There are surely many highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain.
It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial.
You asked for this? But why?
It's all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you? Although, the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation.
I'm surprised such a personal request would have been upheld.
It seems unprecedented. Quite exceptional, in fact.
You are quite right, Miss Mikotoba. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way.
Nah.
After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors, the pride of the Empire. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as the judiciary closing ranks.
So that's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution.
Ryunosuke, let's see how your skills have been honed after practicing law in this land for so many months.
Kazuma, I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend. Oh yes, we noticed that there was a gun at the scene of Inspector Gregson's death. Do you know if it belongs to Lord Von Zeeks?
That would be a question for the lead detective investigating the scene.
Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me I should ask somebody higher up who might know. That's right, Mr. Naruhodo. Be direct.
It's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement, yes. Which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine.
In that case, could it actually have belonged to the victim?
No, Gregson had his gun on his person.
What about Lord Von Zeeks?
He claims it's currently not in his possession.
What?
According to his story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious.
But just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant's is no proof that it's actually his.
No, of course not.
Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Von Zeeks. I'm gonna show you this? No. I guess I'll just talk to Kazuma?
I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but it'll be alright now.
Has your memory completely returned?
Yes, completely. I remember everything, including what I was coming here to do.
Right. Kazuma-sama, I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia?
It was the voice. This past year, I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over. Go to London, that's where your destiny awaits. It was that voice that guided me here to London.
I'm so sorry for what's happened.
Anyway, my memory might have returned to me, but there's something that won't return to the way it was before.
Huh? What do you mean?
I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon.
It doesn't look like we're going to glean much more here. Well, thank you very much, Lord Strongheart.
Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our Empire's history. There's much you could learn from the public gallery.
Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. We'll see ourselves out.
Hold it!
Oh. Before you go, Ryunosuke,
Oh, what is it, Kazuma?
I just wanted to thank you.
Kazuma-sama, what?
You took my determination to heart and brought it with you over the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my role to perfection.
You always were intent on studying British law in order to change your own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Nadahodo didn't want that to die with you.
Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here.
Oh,
I actually have a favor to ask.
which is?
This trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Right in front of me, as the defense counsel.
Why? What's this all about?
I know you have what it takes.
But Lord Von Zieks would never put his fate in my hands.
On the contrary, he recognizes your talent.
He does?
It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this.
That's Lord Von Zieks and Inspector Gregson. And a photograph that must have been taken some time ago by the look of it. And who's the third person? Oh, Clint. That's probably Clint.
It was displayed very prominently in the detective's office.
In Gregson's office, you mean?
Yes, what I'm trying to say is, if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it.
I don't understand. Why are you giving me this?
Just hurry, Ryunosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over.
What are you doing, Kazuma?
Alright, to the prison! Da-da-da-da-da-da! First of November, local prison, cell 1.
Lord Von Zieks is still reading that letter. We've been gone quite some time, though. Either he's an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter. I might even be able to read English faster than he can.
I was intending to ignore you entirely, but I couldn't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting Nipponese.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think you'd hear that.
I had the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them to pass the time.
Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow.
Which is none of your business.
So, have you found a lawyer?
How many times I must reiterate the same thing? This is nothing to do with you.
In other words, no. We were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided.
I'm expecting nothing less. I expect nothing less, though I have no idea who it is.
It's going to be Kazuma Asogi.
Asogi?
That made the color drain from his face.
Well then. It seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all. "10 years ago, my older brother, who was the director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. And the killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name Asogi.
Kenshin Asogi was Kazuma-sama's father.
So what cruel twist of fate is this now, 10 years later? The man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court.
I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you.
It's what he does. No doubt he knew of the young man's true identity from the outset.
But what could he have been hoping to achieve? And let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to somebody like that?
Asogi. That name is the very epitome of my bane. the bane that is you Nipponese.
Right, your hatred of us all Japanese.
It's only just been appointed as prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother...
Oh, I, not it. Let me say that again.
I'd only just been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down a mass murderer.
The so-called professor.
Assigned to the investigation as his partner was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard.
And that was Genshin Soki.
Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of the man. So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing over wrong.
Oh, how awful.
To avenge my brother, I prosecuted an Asogi's trial. It wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I believed the ascribed prosecutor until he consented.
What do you mean by the ascribed prosecutor?
The man in charge of the professor case inquiry, Lord Mill Strongheart.
Wait, what? Lord Strongheart?
He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor instead. Since that time, he's the one person to whom I felt indebted.
I'm sure he must have seen you as your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor.
Anyway, time passed, but then earlier this year, who should arrive in London but you?
Ah,
And of all things, as a lawyer.
I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese.
I kept telling myself it was logical, but for so many years, that hatred had festered inside me. I could no longer control it.
And I can understand why. Now I know the history.
But in the same way that I've long felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life, to Kazuma Soki, I am the bane of his, the reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for revenge, and he intends to take it in court tomorrow. Gregson's transfer to the Paris police prefecture had finally been arranged for the coming month, but he'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy.
Oh yes, come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he?
I wonder, does it happen often? Being transferred internationally, I mean.
It's the first time I've ever encountered it.
Oh,
The Paris police welcoming an English detective is almost inconceivable. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that arrangement in place.
It sounds like that mystery has even the Reaper perplexed.
I'm afraid to say that we were very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend at Scotland Yard.
Again, it was 10 years ago that he made a name for himself by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would never have been made.
What sort of approach?
After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy.
Oh my, 10 years ago?
Why is that so surprising?
Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body at the time, and rarely performed. And my brother was of course a noble, that made the idea of it even more unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determine it was necessary. His powerful conviction somehow influenced the House of Lords, and as a result, I could avenge my brother's death.
So, you must have had great confidence in the inspector's abilities then.
And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life.
I don't have confidence in anyone,
Oh,
and I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. I have no doubt he thought of me only as the ominous Reaper, just like the rest of London.
What really went on between Lord Von Zieks and Gregson, I wonder? What was the true nature of their relationship? About the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene.
Ah yes, that's not mine.
Really? Because common opinion seems to be that it is.
What do you expect me to say to that?
Lord Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm.
As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true.
When did you lose it then?
That I don't know.
Oh,
I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stored it somewhere, I suppose. Or left it somewhere, perhaps.
you have something in common with Lord Von Zieks after all, Mr. Naruhodo. A talent for misplacing things.
No, this has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it.
Don't make the mistake of associating me with this Nepalese.
Oh dear, the rift is very wide, isn't it?
So it's not decisive evidence, clearly, but it doesn't look good, that's for sure. Lord Von Zieks, we came by this old photograph.
Where did you get that? It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost.
Is the man on the left there?
Yes, that's my brother, Clint.
It had to be, really. Apparently this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had taken a deep respect for you, you know? Were you aware of that?
Respect? That's nonsense.
No, we've heard someone attest to that very clearly. Inspector Gino Lestrade, no less.
Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matter. That was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you.
I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past then too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle, an insight into the true nature of this man known to all as the once stone-cold Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, that's the first time he's ever used my actual name.
I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing I'm willing to believe in.
What's that?
That which you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. A simple determination to know the truth.
Lord Von Zieks.
From the very first time we clashed in the Bailey almost a year ago now, I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wish I could. Here is a loathsome Nepalese who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. There are only two other men I know with that same look in their eyes. My brother, Clint, and Genshin Asogi.
The man he idolized and the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way.
When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me.
You mean this photograph?
Back then I was able to laugh. I was free of the shackles of mistrust that plagued me now. I looked to the future with hope. Since then, I protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the mire into which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to breathe.
I'm so sorry.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me?
Of course, I will. It would be an honor.
I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruhodo.
Then my life is in your hands.
For Lord Von Zieks, that must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask. Which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the Old Bailey, against my old friend, Kazuma.
To be continued.
And save. Alright, we're calling it here. Thank you all for watching and farewell for now.